This is the agenda for so what is Cloud ALM, what value it brings, the functional overview, then the phases through which we can use it, right? Design, build, test, deploy, the analytics, and then Cloud ALM has API functionality as well. Like SAP provides API, external APIs which we can use, right? For some using with third party to like ServiceNow and others. And then the end-to-end implementation process and then the content-driven implementation projects. Okay. So just to give you a background, so I think most of you are familiar with Solution Manager, at least have heard of it. So Solution Manager was the ALM tool, the application lifecycle management tool through which you could, manage all the lifecycle stages of your application, be it, ECC, ABAP. But with Solution Manager based on, SAP Business Suite, as you know, mainstream maintenance coming to an end in 2027. So along with that, when Solution Manager is coming to an end. So since ECC had a tool like S4HANA, corresponding next generation system. So similarly, Cloud ALM was brought in. Cloud ALM was available for public use into around 2020 May. So Cloud ALM is the successor of Solution Manager in terms, which what not SAP does say, because SAP says it's a different ALM tool based in cloud solutions. But since SAP is not providing any other tool as a replacement for Solution Manager, so it is understood that Cloud ALM will be the successor of Solution Manager. The underlying reason behind this is because that why SAP is not saying it that Cloud ALM is the success, because most of the functionality, all the functionality which are there in Solution Manager are not going to come into Cloud. They have pick and choose the functionality which will be there in Cloud ALM, and not every it would not be an apple to apple comparison that you can just move from Solution Manager whatever you were using and then you can come to Cloud and use it. So that's why they are saying that these two are different. Obviously, these two are different, but they are not successor of successor or predecessor of each other. Okay, so Cloud ALM, as you can understand from the name, is a cloud solution. It is available over public internet. And it's free. It does no cost is involved. You can, if you have an enterprise contract or SAP premium contract for your existing systems for your application, so you can request for a Cloud ALM tenant free of cost, and you have the option to choose whether you want to go with the different public clouds. It's currently available on Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, and Alibaba, and right now they are available across 8 data centers across the world. So that option you have, which from where you want the tenant, depending on your physical proximity or geographical nature. Okay. So again, so SAP Cloud is mainly for your cloud centric solution. Like if your implementation or your landscape is a cloud centric solution. When I say cloud centric solution, is like, since you also know that SAP is doing a lot of focus on when people should move to cloud. Like even for S4HANA on-prem customer, it has mandated that the next generation of AI and innovation features won't be available for the on-prem S4HANA system, but it would be for the public edition, private edition of S4HANA, like Rise with SAP. So in that way, Cloud ALM is placed to help you in your journey. Obviously, if you're moving from on-prem to cloud, or even in your cloud, like for an upgrade or update, so Cloud ALM will help you in that implementation operations. So Cloud ALM comes or has two distinct areas. One is the implementation area and one is the operations. Implementation is nothing but support of your project landscape, and operations is nothing that once you are in your run on maintenance phase, to support your run and maintenance landscape, you can use the operations area. And implementation is again for your project activities. If you have a project, be it a upgrade, migration, or whatever, so you can leverage the implementation scope of Cloud ALM for that project activity. Okay, it supports on-prem applications also, so that's why you can support your hybrid solution as well, like on-prem and cloud solutions. So that is one thing. Again, it is, as I said, it is native cloud, so you can choose any cloud on which AWS, Azure, on which you want your Cloud ALM to be. The tenant should, the data center or the cloud, that is your choice. Again, it offers you, most of you must have heard of SAP roadmap. So it offers, the SAP roadmaps are integrated in Cloud ALM. So that gives you a content driven guided implementation. if you go ahead with with SAP roadmaps, you choose to go ahead with the roadmaps which are available. So you get content events, the task. I will come to that in detail. So those are there altogether will be there in the Cloud ALM, and there are some automated operations as well. In the operations part, there are some automations available, and some automations are in pipeline. Because as I said, Cloud was launched in 2020 May, and a 3-year life cycle for a application is still like it's still maturing. So there are still capabilities, innovations being added to Cloud ALM. They have a roadmap. They quarterly they release the roadmap that what will be there, what will not be there. Okay. So as I mentioned, so the cloud subscription for Cloud ALM is available in your enterprise support and SAP enterprise support contract. So you don't have to pay anything additional. It is free of cost. The only limitation is that you have a 8 GB memory which comes with the free tier. So whatever data or whatever is being stored at for your tenant, that limit is 8 GB. But that 8 GB is quite enough for you to work with your projects. So
what I understood so far is this cloud available only for as for HANA on private or public cloud, not for on-premise.
no, it's available for on-premise as well. As I said, like
Okay.
for
Still have
hybrid
to have
solutions.
this cloud. You still have to have the cloud subscription
Yes, no,
on-premise.
yes. If you have an enterprise, because if you have an enterprise support contract or a premium support, Cloud ALM will be available for you free of cost. You just have to request for it, the tenant, irrespective of whether you have
Okay.
on-prem system
Okay.
or a cloud system. That doesn't matter. But
So
if you have
so even if you are on premise and you have a premium subscription, you will get it for free.
right, correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it depends actually to it depends on your contract with SAP. So it doesn't depend whether you are using what products, because as I said, Cloud LMS still supports some on-prem applications, but going forward maybe they won't. But for now, it's a hybrid mix where you can support your on-prem and cloud solution as well. So it depends. So mostly all the contracts support means I rarely means I don't know if you have a very basic one, probably then you won't have it. But everyone has the enterprise support contract. So Cloud LM comes as part of it, free of cost. You don't have to and the onboarding is very quick. It like 15 to 30 minutes at max. Once you place a request within 15 to 30 minutes, your tenant will be ready and they will mail you the details, share the details. Okay, so moving to the next slide. So again, as I was saying, it is Cloud LMS for intelligent enterprise and is cloud native and open. So as I was a cloud native that you can choose whichever cloud you want to run your cloud LM tenant. Open, as I was saying, they give you the APIs which you can work, external APIs which you based on which you can on BTP you can have your one other, you can based on those APIs you can create your own extensions and work with Cloud ALM. So just to give you an example, like in operations in the Cloud ALM operations we can set up monitoring. So once you have monitoring set up, so over a period of time you will have data, a lot of data. So that data you can use an external API to pull that data into your maybe an external dashboard or some other where you can then do an analysis. Cloud LM also provides you analysis, but not a very detailed one. So in case you want, just to see the trend, how the system is behaving or performance. So in that sense, you can have that option that using the API, you can import all your monitoring data or whatever it could be, all the raw data into an through an external API into extension or there's a dashboard called Grafana which is embedded which can be used. One of the options when you can import data into Grafana and you can build your dashboards or do detailed analytics. So in that case, the Cloud ALM is open. They're also again working on because they want to make it very open, a very cloud native, so that it can be used, so that people should stick to, because the earlier not hindrance but the complaint customers used to do that SAP is very difficult to integrate other tools with SAP, any a third party tool, and it was very difficult. It took a lot of effort in the integration part of third party tool. So SAP specifically, at least with Cloud, when they're working, that it becomes more easy, it's more open, that people, because in that way SAP would be able to keep its customers in Cloud element only, and they can then you leverage the third party tools in that. So again, Cloud ALM, again, it is specifically designed for cloud-centric customers, because that is the way forward for SAP as well. Like all the cloud solutions which SAP provides are supported fully by Cloud ALM. There is in a roadmap that they will allow third-party cloud solution as well, but right now it's in very nascent state. You can again, like as I said, but going for now, you can manage your hybrid solution as well. Like if you have some solution, like you are using Ariba SuccessFactors and you have on-premise for HANA system as well. So you can manage both the set of systems through the hybrid solution. So Cloud LM supports that. It supports all the components of the intelligent enterprise, like all the cloud solution which SAP is bringing, like IBP, Ariba, Concur, SuccessFactor, downstream, upstream. I think all the, again, as I said, it is still, when I say no product is being supported, so it could be that it is not supported across all the modules of Cloud ALM, because SAP is slowly bringing each module or each section slowly, because it's still not a very mature product. It's just 3 years old, and they're still like one by one they're still bringing everything into the scope of Cloud ALM. So it could be that you could find that the whole for some functionality your specific product is not supported in that way, but it would be in the roadmap. So when I say that supports all the clouds, I was saying in some way or the other, it supports all the solutions. But it could be that out of the 10 functionalities or scoping we have in Cloud LM, it doesn't support all for now. Like to give example, in operations part, we have business process monitoring Cloud LM, where you can monitor your end-to-end business processes flow. So in that now they support success factor, and before that, like success factor came very recently. Before that, the support was only for ABAP or S4 HANA systems. So slowly they are building the capability, bringing new the existing systems in the capability for each of these skills. So again, Cloud ALM is, as I said, is in the public cloud, and it is like you can start with a trial, and it is available for life. Like they have a public demo system readily available over the internet, which we will be using for our workshops, for a hands-on. As I said, it is ready for immediate consumption. As soon as you request for the tenant, it takes, I think, they give the TAT, I think, turnaround time for around 15 minutes to 30 minutes, within which your tenant will be ready. So again, it is cost efficient for customer in the sense that you are not paying anything additional, right? But you are getting a whole set of functionalities available at your doorstep to use, right? In your implement in your project work, right? So in that way, it is cost. You don't pay anything additional, right? Except the resource who are going to work. But from a hardware, there's no hardware available. So from a capex or depex, there's no requirement. There's no cost involved. Okay. We have already covered this. So one thing which I not forgot, but right now there are another section in Cloud LM which we won't go, but it just for your information. So like as you said, Cloud LM for implementation, for operations. Another is for service. Service is nothing but Cloud ALM is like SAP is providing some services through Cloud ALM, like consulting services. You could say them that whether if you're starting a project and you need a handheld session with SAP or an expert session with SAP. So those services you can like order or book through this and manage through this service section. So when I show you, you'll see that section, but that is not. It's not like related to the project work or the your delivery. It's just for that if you are requesting for a service through Cloud LM for cloud related options. So those things you can manage through that service section. Like there's another business transformation section in Cloud LM, which is again like a different thing where you want to use Cloud LM or want to see the transformation journey. You have predefined sections available. So that is again an odd add-on feature or an additional thing which a Cloud LM provides, but nothing to do with the actual the work you do in your project delivery, be it implementation or operations. Okay. Another thing is that Cloud LM, they have built it like thing, I know, like, because it is in a way, because they are, and from solution wise was a completely on-prem application. Now they brought Cloud LM. So most of the things which were there, like in solution wise we had change management, those things. So most of the things they are bringing in Cloud ALM, but they are bringing it not in a like in a way that it is like suited more for cloud, like, or for it could be used in other, like they are not using very SAP specific terms, right? Like they are using agile terms like stories and task, right? Because earlier, like in cloud solution, it the it just an the abbreviations or the terminology were very SAP specific on it. But in Cloud LM, they're using it very generic, and as they want to make it, very open and very cloud native, it's already there, very open. So that's why they have like again to give you an example, we'll again come to this later that we can integrate it with Jira as well, right? There is an option and roadmap. So when they will integrate a Jira, so Jira uses users to because based on Agile. So they have in there when you create the projects, the user task, the user story. So they have the terminology; those are very open, where very generic. So so it's so that it could be used, not in. I mean, obviously, it will be used in SAP systems landscape only, but it is very open or very generic, not very specific or very gives you a feel of only SAP, right? Because eventually the SAP's aim is that it would open SAP Cloud ALM for third party cloud solutions as well. There are many third party products which SAP customers use very aggressively or very efficiently. So for that they are trying to do that they will eventually open it for so that Cloud ALM can integrate with your non SAP third party solution as cloud solutions. Okay, moving to the next slide. Okay, so how SAP Cloud helps you in your journey. So one would be the methodology. So methodology in the sense that, as I was saying, see, Cloud LM provides you that you can use the standard SAP practices through SAP roadmaps. So that methodology you can already, you don't have to work on that, right? So like there are more than I think 15 to 20 roadmaps available, SAP Activate roadmaps, which you can reuse. So let's suppose you are doing S4 HANA an upgrade and want to create a roadmap, a project landscape, project plan for that. So you can leverage the roadmaps. You can it kind of not even import. It's just you don't have to do anything. You just have to choose that. Cloud ALM will automatically, based on that roadmap, create all your project tasks, all your user histories, everything. Obviously you can modify them, add your own interpretation of that, but it gives you a framework to start with, at least, right? Usually struggle when we start any project, this initial how do we start. So they at least it gives you the skeletal a framework to start with for your project, right? So in that way you have that methodology available. Automation is that, again, in the operations part, it gives you, again, some of the automations are still in progress, they are still in progress, but it gives you automation where you can, like, a job fails, so it could be that you can create a workflow which, as soon as a job fail, the job will be re-triggered. Okay, so I'm just giving example that we won't cover as part of this course, but that operation automation is available in Cloud ALM. Or there's an alert, you can create an event, and on that event, based on that event, you can have a ticket created, or even a MS Teams message sent out to the respective, the team, or a DL, or a individual person. So that kind of automation we can do. Integration, as I said, that it is SAP is trying to integrate. We can integrate it with different through the external APIs. Plus, SAP provides inbuilt integration functionalities to integrate for now with ServiceNow and MS Teams. And there are multiple external APIs available which SAP has built, which we can use or you can use depending on your requirement to leverage it. So we can have integration with different third-party tools, but right now it is very limited. Like for dashboards, you have Grafana, ServiceNow, MS Teams. Then for your implementation of your project activity, you can pull your data requirements or task, and then work with them and pull them, import the data through an external API, and have work on them through any of the extensions. Okay. So again, since it is cloud, so the latest innovations are applied automatically. When you start using it, you will start whenever you start using Cloud ALM, you'll see whenever you come or the homepage, you will get a banner message that updates were applied to your Cloud ALM from the last time you logged in. So it's a key. You don't know, you don't come to know, but it's the latest innovations. It's very continuous. You will see changes every now and then, and there is no hindrance to your work because there is no downtime as such, right? It's cloud, so it's everything. Innovations are getting updated or applied even throughout the day, right? small, you won't come to know. When once you see use that feature, you'll come to know, okay, this has changed, right? Like something like some did not have alerting framework, or you'll see the UI has changed, right? Again, keep your business running is again like with the operations part, you can have monitoring for your maintenance and run landscape, where you can see how the system is running, how it is behaving, and you can take corrective actions. And that corrective actions can be automated in, as I was mentioned, in terms of notifications or creating an event, or job automation, where you can have a workflow created in BTP, and that workflow can be called once an event is generated, so you can correlate those things. We can optimize again the SAP services using all this leverage. Okay, accelerate data transformation again, like since you if when you are leveraging your implementation area of cloud ALM, and when you are you are using it for your S4HANA journey, you're moving to S4HANA, so it gives you again a lot many inbuilt tools to help you in that S4HANA journey. This is especially for S1 when you're moving ECC to S4HANA. It gives you a lot many, the transformation, because it would be a huge project when you're moving from ECC, be it greenfield, brownfield, right? Implementation. So that the cloud item gives you a lot of inbuilt tools, which we'll go through as we move on in this training, to help you in that transformation. Okay, so yeah, this, as I was saying again, so as I was mentioned to you, and I think the previously the business the first the data transformation. So we have a section, SAP Business Transformation Center, which we won't cover as part of this training because it's a very new thing. But that, as I said, that gives you the tools to help you in a business transformation. You can analyze the data currently available in your system, then transform, provide, right? So that you'll see when we come to I'll show you that section when we come to the workshop. So that business transformation center is specifically for your S4HANA journey, or for any data transformation, right? Again, business continuity, like the detect, analyze, correct. So there's like in your, if you detect any issue, analyze, you can correct, automate it, right? Automation is like, again, if there's like, suppose you detect there's a job failing, right? So there is a capability where you can automate that fix, but it is not available now for each and everything, but now it for very few areas it is available. Similarly, innovation adoption, if you have anything in your current landscape, and you want to innovate, or a new feature you have found, a new requirement has come in, you can always do that through cloud ALM, right? So I think this talks about the same which we have talked. So I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so as I was mentioning, so this cloud ALM supports both your implementation and operations. Okay, implementation could be your any project work, be it upgrade or update or migration. Operation is once you are in your run phase, where the systems are running, and so there you can detect issues, you can analyze the issue, you can correct them, and as I said, there are some capabilities to automate that fix as well going forward. Okay, so for implementation again, Cloud ALM supports, from the design phase. You have design, you can have workshops, you can record your business requirements, IT requirements through during the design phase when you're having the workshops and everything. Then from design workflow, then you go to the build phase. Then we can use the change and deployment cycle of cloud ALM during your build phase to and then we have test suite, test management as well in Cloud ALM, where you can create your test plans, test packages. Currently, Cloud ALM also supports integration with third-party testing tool called Tricentis Tosca, which is again an automatic for automating testing. So you can integrate. For using that, you have to request. For using Tricentis Tosca, you need a separate license. That is not included as part of Cloud ALM, but you can use that to integrate. So it has testing capabilities. Cloud ALM, you can leverage that. And finally, deploy. You can use the release management then for your deployment phase during your go live. So it gives you the complete set of tools to have control over each and every phase of your implementation project, starting from design, build, test, deploy. And during test, as I said, during testing, it gives you we have defect management as well. So it supports the testing cycle through, and you can support all your testing needs, all your build needs, design needs, and deployment needs through Cloud ALM. But just a disclaimer here that, as I mentioned and have been mentioning, that Cloud ALM is still a very it's not a mature product. It has matured a lot since last 3.5, 4 years. But there are something which still it doesn't have the capability. So either those are in the roadmaps or they might not be in the roadmap itself. Like SAP is not going ahead with that, right? So because some of you are quite experienced, you have worked in different projects where you could have used some other tools or solution manager. So you might face difficulty, not difficulty, but you might face that there are some missing features, some missing functionality in cloud. But that is how it is. That is the part and parcel of moving to a new product. And as I said, SAP has said that it is not going to bring everything which was available in Solution Manager to Cloud ALM. They will try to bring as much as possible, but like they have specifically mentioned that some things we are not going to bring, and some things will be there. So in that way, it could be. So it's just a disclaimer. It could be that you won't find what you have in other, like if you come, like people use Jira and other tools or Solution Manager. So you could find there are some functionalities missing, or some which are not very mature enough right now, right? They are in process of getting more mature, more capabilities, more features, more things getting added. So that is one thing. Another thing is that since it's a cloud solution, you don't have too much control over, like you don't have too much customization available. Like you can't customize too many things. There are some things. Actually, I won't say customization, but I would say you can add few of the things like you want to separate. No, we'll come to that one. So, but it's more of a like it's very limited. Like whatever SAP gives on Cloud LM is available, you have to use it with some little bit of customization available or some kind of add-ons available. But you have to be ready that whatever you have in Cloud LM, you have to work with it, live with it. Yeah, because unless, like I always keep going back to Solution Manager because that is the to which we can compare it, the earlier product from SAP. So in Solution Manager, you had a lot of scope for customization. You could customize a lot of things, right? Like even like suppose to give you a very basic example, like in Solution Manager, even the you must have received some alert or some email from Solution Manager one point or the other during any of your projects, right? Be it for monitoring, be it for change management, be it for test. So Solution Manager gave you the capability to even customize that email. Like you could customize the email body, the subject, even the sender. So these things, it could be like you could customize the complete email body, or you could customize the completely email subject line depending on your requirement, right? In Cloud ALM, you don't have that. You can't do that. It is a standard email which will be sent out. Let's suppose I'll give you an example in operations. If you set up a monitoring, so there's a standard mail notification with the standard subject, with the standard message body, which will be sent out. You don't have any option to customize it, at least not for now. And probably it won't be there, and that is also it is also true because it's a cloud solution, right? The SAP will not, otherwise every customer will be able to customize, and it will be a hell lot of difficult to manage for SAP. So that's why it's a cloud solution. It won't give you a lot of scope for customization in that way. Okay. So this is the value which you will get from SAP, from the SAP Cloud ALM. Like as I said, effective run fit to standard work. So like once, because obviously in any project when you are initiating, you'll have workshops, right? So if you are using roadmaps like the SAP roadmap, the Activate roadmaps, you can leverage that and to record your requirements, your findings from that workshop very effectively. Like you don't have to create it from scratch, right? You will come to know when I'll show you the demo. So it is very, as I said, even the existing, like once you're using for creation of project, you leverage the roadmaps. So everything comes, the task, but you can modify the task, or you can add your own project task, user stories, right? So it gives you both leverage. So it reduces the time, right? And effectively it reduces the time, and you are not spending. Obviously, you have to spend, but maybe that time is reduces what you spend on the documentation part, right? Or
Hey, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Planning the project or the project plan itself, right? So that is one thing. Okay, again, you, as I said, it works on tasks, so you can automatically assign tasks from there. You don't have to like manually go and assign. Like if you are using, like some project people use SharePoint, to assign for documentation. That becomes very manual, right? But here you can, from the same project task page, you can assign it to respective, or you can assign it to teams. You can have different teams assigned to your project, and there you go. So that these all things we'll go through in detail. Okay, again, test, as I was saying, test activities are central. Like there's one place from there you can, you can see, even test management comes with its own dashboard as well, which has the complete analytics. So you can use that. It is from center. You don't have to like go different, like you don't have to go and check, okay, well, how many test cases are finished, or how many users are available, or which test cases are not as test cases are still unassigned. There are no testers assigned, right? So these things you can change centrally. You don't have to specifically go and check anyway, right? Again, since you can use the standard release management process of Cloud ALM, so the deployment to production is very consistent, right? You don't have it would not be like if you have multiple go lives, so the same flow as the same process will be followed, because you are using Cloud ALM's functionality. And again, as I said, because you don't have that much capability to customize, there won't be any changes as such, right? So the go lives will be very consistent. Okay. And traceability. So as I said, like suppose you start with, through workshops, you create your IT requirement, business requirement. From business requirement, you create your features for development, then testing. So you can trace, like it gives you, like you, if you want to know what is the status of my work or my test or my requirement, so you can trace it depending on your, because let's suppose you want a requirement ABC. So what is its status? So it will tell you like that requirement, the corresponding feature which was created, what is its status. From that feature, what the test case. If again, this will only work if you have connected them, right? When you are creating a requirement and when you're creating a feature, you are assigning that feature to that requirement. When you're creating a test case or test, either you can create it from the feature itself, or even if you are creating it from the test management, connect it to your feature. So if you have done this, so you can easily trace your, like from requirement, I say from requirement level only, you can trace that what is the status till my testing or even like deployment. Similarly for features, similarly for test cases. So it gives you a lot of traceability in terms of analytics. And SAP has specifically, or is very focused on this part, like I would say not analytics, but in a way that you should be able to see, like for high level diagram, that you should not high level view, that you should not have to know, dig deep or drill down to the lowest level to find the actual state of your current project. It should be given at a very higher level, that you go to requirement or you go to your project level, and you can see that, okay, this is the state of how many features are there, how many features have been tested, how many features are ready for deployment. So SAP has built it in a way, and it is also enhancing, bringing innovations that it can, no, you can have a complete view of your complete project status at a very high level. Okay. A business process continuity. As I was saying, we have business process monitoring. So you can use that or leverage that to see if your business processes are having any performance issue. Performance issue in the sense that, like you can set up or alert, or you can set up, monitoring on your business. Like a very basic example, that purchase order creation. If there is an issue in your purchase order creation, so you can, depending on your that, okay, if there's a delay by minutes or by days or by months, depending on requirement, you can monitor that, right? Again, as I was talking about automation, you can, the resolution time, like a job fails, so you can create a workflow which you can integrate that in that you can create an event that if the job fails, you'll create an event. That event will call your that automation activity that trigger the failed job, right? It is still in very nascent stage, but that is how SAP is going forward. Right now, I think there are it supports RPA and SAP workflow. These two it supports, but there will be a lot many getting added. But again, this we will not cover as part of this training. But this we can leverage. Like if someone or you have a RPA or a workflow already there, you can create those workflows or those there, and you can call them from Cloud ALM. Obviously, before that, you'll have to integrate the two systems, Cloud ALM and your workflow system and your BTP and for that matter RP. But those workflows can be called. SAP has given that functionality. Okay. Like in terms of not like we have SLAs, but not in the actual SLA. It's like for implementation phase, you can time box your different phases, like your realize phase cycle, design cycle, build, test, and you can time box that. Okay, this will run from this date to this date to, and then you can track your requirement, and they'll give you a percentage that if you have given like 2 months time frame for your build phase. So at given point of time, what is the percentage of work completed? So in that way it gives you transparent reporting, and it can you can and even for testing you can create different time boxes that with my different testing cycles will run from this to this date, and it will give you a percentage in that way also. Okay, so machine learning anomalies is still like we have it is inbuilt in the sense that like you have set up like for CPI we have workflows, so there could be workflows flowing. So what SAP has done is that it could be that you could understand a workflow could be failing under because it could be used continuously. Messages are being sent from to different source to destination using CPI very continuously. So it could be that there could be multiple notifications or alerts raised for the same issue. So in that way machine learning has been inbuilt, where if for this one issue SAP will understand that they have it is like at some level it is a time based in the sense that if at the same time the for the same workflow same issue is coming, it means it's a single issue, not a multiple issue. So then SAP or Cloud ALM will integrate or will generate only one notification for you. So these kind of machine learning things they have incorporated, that is inbuilt, and they're still bringing it up. So that is one thing. Okay, safeguarding your cloud journey again, your service collaboration, it can help. Delivery efficiency in the sense it will give it is trying to automate things. It is giving a very standard flow. So there is very less chance of going wrong anywhere if you're following the process. So delivery is efficient. They're very minimal. In a way, that's good since SAP doesn't give you too many levels of customization. So you are going to use the standard SAP process which Cloud ALM offers you. So there is very less chance of you going wrong or there going to be a delay, right? So this is you can safeguard your journey in that sense that there is no delay in your project's activity because you are using the which SAP has given you. SAP has set out a standard process for you, has given you all the tools for that, and you are using that. So there are very less chances. And if you follow it very how SAP Cloud ALM has built it, so there would not be any scope of failures as such, to put it very in simple terms. So that way it safeguards your cloud journey. Okay. So as we have already talked, what does Cloud ALM offer? So it offers both implementation operations for SAP solutions. We already covered this. Okay, as I said, it will covers your processes, your test, deploy, task management, everything for the implementation area. For operations, it offers business process health and user performance monitoring. Like you can have user experience monitoring. You can have health monitoring. Health monitoring is nothing but the health of your system, like for your the data. Let's suppose for your S/4HANA system, what is the performance, dialog response time, how it is, in the database, is it in a good state or not, the user status, so those kind of like a health checkup kind of thing. Like so, what do you check for your body? You check blood pressure and sugar and basic blood test, right? Similarly, it's a very basic health monitoring of your systems, right? Or for your applications as well. Like you can have it for your cloud application as well, Ariba, SuccessFactor, and on-prem also. A business process, as I said, business process monitoring, where you can, like currently SAP provides around 100 KPIs based on which you can monitor your business processes. Since we don't have a, which was not there in solution manager as well, where you can't create your own KPIs, key performance indicators. You what SAP provides the standard ones. Based on that, you can monitor your business processes. So there are around 100 right now, but they are adding it. Okay, and as I said, like in implementation phase, it covers your starting from your process modeling to your test deployment and your task management. Like if you'll have, so they have complete it offers. Embedded intelligence we have already talked, where it can detect or or not detect issues, but help you in minimizing the amount or maximizing the minimizing your effort and maximize, like if you for the same issue, if you get 10 incidents or 10 notifications, that is going to hamper your productivity. So in that way it helps you to reduce that effort. So that is inbuilt. Okay, moving to the next page. Yeah, so as I said, it offers Cloud ALM offers you process templates, right, which you can use. We'll go through that later to run your fit to standard workshops. Like the workshops you start with, so you can, that could be a starting, but as I said, like it's better to start with something than to start with scratch. So they will have, it will give you a framework, a skeleton to work with when you're working with the workshops, and it will give you, because SAP provides the standard process diagrams modeling for the standard workflows, the standard business process, which you can use, right? The onboarding for the project team is easy. Like you just have to create a user for them, like, and a role has to be assigned. That's it. And obviously, and because the tenant, your specific cloud tenant will be available over the internet, right? It is readily available over even your, obviously because it's learned public cloud. You just have to give the access to your teams, give them the specific roles, and that's it. Okay. Again, as I said, task assignment, you can assign tasks from the same, from where you are in the project management page, or from where you are have the task overview. You can assign directly or assign to the specific team, and from there the responsible person for the team can assign it to the respective developers or tester, whatever it could be. Yeah, activities, you can manage all your test activities through Cloud ALM. You don't have to use any other tool or sit on any other tool for that. Cloud ALM will help you. Again, it is, again, when I say you can leverage, it's in the very standard way. I'm saying that SAP gives you the all the tools, all the process, all the functionalities to for a standard test workflow or any whatever standard SAP. But if you have any other requirement, right, or like it could be a very regressive testing or performance testing, right? So maybe you can leverage it, but then maybe you have to then fall back to some other tool. But if in a very standard scenario, from a testing perspective, you can manage all your testing requirements through Cloud ALM without going, even for reporting, you don't have to use any other thing. Even for reporting, SAP Cloud ALM will help you with the reporting part as well. Okay. And in that sense, or even for your fit to standard workshops, like all the processes are available, the modeling is there. If you are going with standard, I could say that you probably there won't be anything for you to work on from process perspective if you're using the standard. But there obviously will be required where you will be customizing a completely new process, or customizing the existing standard process of SAP. So in that way also, since you already have that process there, you don't have to create it from scratch. So that thing you can do. And again, there also you can have a view of it, like what all processes are available, which are suitable for me, which are not. And you can create on it, we call it process authoring. You can create your own process, it's there itself. So that's not a problem. Okay, consistently deploy to production. Since SAP has Cloud ALM has a process set for deployment, release management, you can use that, and you can use it consistently. Like features will be moved. We call it features. So features will be moved to production on a specific schedule, depending on. But again, it is not. You don't have too many customizations. Like in some customers or some go lives, there is a requirement that some different permutation combinations you might have come across, that it is not like it's not a big bang go live. There are very dependency on that. So maybe in that sense it would not help, but more or less it will cover. Cloud LM will cover all your requirements from a deployment, from a release management. Again, as I said, SAP has given Cloud LM has given a lot of focus in traceability. So you can trace your feature, what is status from a requirement, your feature, from a test case, your feature requirement. So complete traceability of your work during your project. SAP has given a lot of emphasis on that part. Okay. Track progress with inbuilt reporting. As I said, it is with traceability. The traceability is there so that it can help you in more advanced or more, in detail, in depth reporting. So you can do that. You have a separate dashboard for testing. You have a separate dashboard for defects where you can see what is the defects, how it is going. You have a separate dashboard for features, like what is the status of different features, right? A good part is there are not many statuses in features. In development, that's it. There are two or three features status. That's it. So it reduces the amount of effort in managing them. So in that way, so it gives you traceability reporting in very in depth, right? So this we have already done. The processes we in Cloud LM we can consume the SAP best practice content, right? And when you consume the roadmaps, the processes will come, the process diagrams will come, and then from there you can manage your requirements, you can manage your workshops depending, to track your, for documentation of your workshops, for requirements, you can completely leverage that. So processes, if you are using actually, and even if you are not don't if you intend, even if there is a lot of customization or there will be very too many customized even then it is preferable to start with the standard best practice, and then you keep on adding your, at least you'll have a framework, a skeleton to work with, right? So that is fine. Again, task, you can have task configuration, task and manage extension. So again, when you are importing the from the roadmap, even the tasks are there. Not only the process diagrams of the process, even the underlying tasks are there which get populated, and there from there you can create your own task, or you can, or you can use the same, create the project plan. This is one of the tasks in the roadmap, right? So just to, add that extra bit of that, okay, that is also that we have to create a project plan. Obviously, if you don't want that as a test task, you can remove that. Or if you want something else, you can customize, you can add your own task. But once you import the content, the underlying task for each will also come with it. Again, even for testing, test cases will get populated. You can use them, or depending on your requirement, you can create your own test cases. As I said, like you can download the template, fill up your based on the template, fill up, and you can create test cases, test steps from that, mass upload also. So that is also there. But you can have test cases. Test cases will already be there once you import the standard content, and you can leverage them as well, right? So change and deployment is nothing but the change management process, or the change management workflow for in Cloud ALM, which is called change and deployment. So you can, again, it is a standard workflow. You don't have any control to customize it. So in a way, it's good. You are forced to, or you are forced to use the standard SAP provided workflow in Cloud ALM for change management, for your moving, for your change management. So in a way, it's good. There are very less chances of failures, right? If you follow the process as per, yeah, right. So that is one case. Like, to give an example, many of you know like what retrofit is, right? So in when you have once your first go live happened, you might have that there will be some, there will be a support landscape where your minor changes are going, and there will be a project landscape where still the major changes are going, right? So there you need a retrofit functionality where any changes, like, so that the two landscapes are in sync. So you do a retrofit, right? So with changes in one get retrofitted automatically to the second landscape, right? So this functionality as such is not available in Cloud ALM, like the retrofit, right? I'm not sure whether it's in roadmap, but that retrofit functionality is still not there in Cloud ALM, right? So so I'm just trying to make you understand that there are still some limitations. When I say it is standard, it gives, but again, there, like, if you have a retrofit functionality or requirement, then maybe we have to, do it manually in some other way. So but if you're using standard for, at least for your implementation project, then you can, the change and deployment management is well sufficient to cater all your needs. Okay. Okay.
when you say that retrofit, right? The
Yeah.
retrofit, when you do the cloud even changes also, which will be even on premises also, which will be having a synchronized that retrofit, how it is.
No, I was giving example that retrofit as such functionality is not available or possible in cloud. You can't retro if you have two landscape like project and support landscape. So you
Correct.
can't do it. You can't do it through cloud at
Cloud
least for
ALM.
now. Yeah.
And these are the process, tasks, contests, and change and development, which will be integrated with SAP application, right? So,
Yeah. Well, means roadmaps are like when we do the workshop, you'll come to know that roadmaps on like it is again for the implementation part where you are an implementation could be an upgrade S/4HANA upgrade or a database upgrade or migration or anything. So there are standard roadmaps available which if you use, so all the underlying processes or everything which you need, the workshop, the processes, the task, the process diagrams, if you want to use them, so they will be automatically available in your cloud ALM system and you can use them.
okay.
Okay. So yeah, it is available for like a product. I think it is available for success factor for S4 HANA, for Ariba also for something, some is available. But again, as I said, it is still not available, may probably not available for all the products. But yeah, S4 HANA, it is available. Most of the implementation scenarios which you can think of are available.
Okay. In the process steps also, which is available, like the workflow which will be rejected or something like that,
Yes,
notification, such kind of things.
that you're saying in terms of support or during implementation?
Implementation, when we do capture the process steps and all,
Correct.
right? Any of the
Right.
things. So there'll be something in a comment, something action need to be screenshot to be added. So then in that case, will I get any mail trigger, something like that,
Okay, good.
notification?
Notifications right now are not supported, but again, it is in the pipeline. I don't know when, but right now it is not supported. Like I understood, like if there is a task on your name,
Yeah,
whether you will
correct.
get
Yeah,
a notification or not. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah. So this is the same thing, the self-guided and content-driven implementation based on Activate method is available in Cloud LM. You can leverage that. Fast onboarding for project teams, project planning single with cloud solution release time. Like, okay, another feature is that if you are using cloud solution, which like SuccessFactors, Ariba, and so they have a release cycle, right? SuccessFactors, Ariba, SAP Concur, they have a release cycle which SAP follows. So you can integrate your project timelines with that cycle. Like there could be like an upgrade coming in next quarter, and you are also running some project. So that is there, which will show up there. So you can, depending on that, you can integrate those both timelines. So that option is there, but it is helpful in terms that when what would be your stage of your project when the upgrade happens, or whatever is the life cycle for that cloud solution, what activity is there. So that is there. So these are the things which are again prepare and manual and automate tested. So we can create manual test for automating testing. Like as I said, Tricentic Tosca recently it came for public use that you can use Tricentis Tosca for your automatic automated testing. But again, for that you need a separate license that is not part of the Cloud ALM license. Manually, you can do, but for automatic, because again, like for more automation of testing, there was nothing in Cloud ALM as such. So that's why they integrated or leveraged Tricentis Tosca, because I think it was beneficial to them to use a third party tool than to build their own automation, right? Because if you have worked with Solution Manager, you have CBTA there, which was a very mature tool which you can leverage to create your own automatic test cases. But here there was no functionality as such. So that's why for automatic they use trace and test Tosca. So that you can use for automatic. So Cloud ALM in a way supports automatic testing, but again, just that you have to buy a separate license for that trace and test, and it is like very smooth because SAP, it is like it is in built with partner with SAP. It is recommended by SAP, and there is a separate tab on the Cloud ALM homepage for Tricentis. So it's very smooth, like the integration, and there's not much effort in a way. It's very easy in that way. Okay. So going to the next list is fine. Okay. So this is just page from how it will look. So in cloud, this is the implementation project you have set. So as I was saying, you can even for the whole project, you can see the progress. So again, the underlying, the parameters on which what is the progress, that is depends on the task which have been completed. Okay. Requirements notes, upcoming tasks. So that's why I think SAP has put a lot of effort in this dashboards view, or this where everything you can view at a very high level, so that you can, and then it also gives the option to drill down, right? Suppose the project is at 69%. So what are the why it is at 69%? Where are we? Prepare phase 69. So those kind of things it gives. So again, core capabilities again, design. It helps in your design, build, test, and deploy. Right? We already covered that. So this is just a screenshot of onboarding and the project setup. We'll do demo and have an hands-on lab activity as well. Okay. So again, when you invite the users, you have to give them roles specific. Again, in SAP, in SAP, you have roles, different roles. In Cloud ALM, right now the roles are defined on your user role, in the sense you could be a test manager, you could be a tester, you could be a project manager, you could be a architect. So those roles can be assigned to it's not like you have to be assigned all the roles separate, composite roles or single roles. So these are like user based roles or role based roles, if I could say. What is your role in the project? So project manager, test manager, tester, business analyst, architect, program manager. Depending on that, your role will be, and you will have visibility to only the things which you are supposed to, take care. If you are a tester, you are not supposed to, it's just to segregate and just to don't crowd, too many information to a person, which is not needed, right? It is good to know, but it is not needed. So a tester might not have access to the project status. Because he or she doesn't have to know that. They just have to know what are the tasks as test cases assigned to them, and if they have raised any defect, so what those status of those defects. So these they and then a test manager will have access to all the test cases and all the and to different test cases which are assigned to different testers. So he or she can understand, okay, which tester is lagging behind, or how is the progress for each tester. Then the overall testing plan, again, the test manager can have access or view that what will be the if they are correlated, like features is correlated, you have made a relation with correlated with test. So the which features are still pending. So those are project manager will have the overview of the project. Okay, he or she can drill down that, okay, how many test cases are pending. Maybe not at the level of tester, like which tester it's pending, but at least how many test cases are pending, what is the state, how many have been retested, how many defects are there. So those kind of it's like the authorization is role based, depending on the role you play in the project. So those kind of roles can be assigned to you. So in that way. Okay. So again, it talks about the project setup and fit to stand. Again, you'll have process flows, which we'll talk again. As I was saying, this is if I can just we'll have this in detail giving over. So this is one of the standard process, sell from mistake BD9. Some of you will be more familiar with this than I am. I'm just so you see, when you use the standard content or use the activate roadmaps, this will come automatically in your Cloud ALM. The standard flow. Okay. The design is there. So this is obviously, see, in most cases it could be that the project will have too many customization, or you are going with the standard one. So but this is a very good starting point, right? From there, if you want, you can create your own. You will not be able to edit here, but you will have to create another process which we call process authoring. There you can use this and create the process modeling, and again there will be subtasks related to this, which again you can use or you can leverage. So at least you have a starting point, right? The skeleton to start with for the project, for the process, for the workshop, when the inputs you get from the workshop, that you can use to based on this diagrams, you can create your own process diagrams if you want like some, if you have a necessity to have process diagrams in place for all the processes once it's finalized for the workflow. So this is there. Again, this is a like again as I was saying, like once you build a project, the project will have underlying task, right? And it is like a project. It will have task. It will have user stories. So projects will run based on these will be the the parameters on which the status of the project will be, or the how many percentage it has finished will be measured, right? Again, when you use the standard content, most of them, I mean, all of them will be there automatically. It depends on you, your requirement, your project requirement, whether you if you can use the standard ones, or if you want to create your own, or if you want to customize the existing, the ones which we have come. Again, customization, we won't have much scope to do customization, so you can create a new one, but you can maybe base your task on the similar, and there will be sometimes which is very similar to the one you are trying to create, so you can leverage that content and create that. So you don't have to start from scratch for anything. You have a starting point. Okay. And again, we can have different you visualization. You can have in grand chart, you can have in pie chart. So depending, those settings are there which you can use depending on your
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
your requirement that you can, how do you want to see it. Again, as I was mentioning, you can integrate it with other project management tools with the open like you can take a raw data, how many project tasks are open, how many project tasks, or how many test cases are open. So everything you can import as raw data using the open API, and you can integrate and have it in some other third party tool and use it. Like for dashboards, you can use Grafana. Like let's suppose the existing dashboard which is there in solution in Cloud ALM, that is not sufficient. You want something more. So maybe you can come, import the all the raw data through the open API to a Grafana instance, and there you can try to create your own dashboard. That okay, this is the view I only want. That I only want maybe projects and only features, but for features in detail, which again you won't have it in Cloud ALM because it won't give you that much customization. It will help give you the drill down. Like from here I can go to features, from features test. Probably not what you're looking for if there is a case. So then you can use the open API for project management. And this is what SAP is trying to do. Like for all the areas, it is like it is saying that okay, I will not build, but I'm giving you the the partners, and there are many Cloud ALM partners. Like you might have heard of some like Cloud Realm, and there is, I'm forgetting the name, but they have built some solutions based on these open APIs. Like as I was saying, we don't have ITSM in in Cloud ALM. So there is a company which has built an extension on top of the open API, which is used by ServiceNow. But that thing, Cloud SAP has already provided. So you don't have to do any kind of development or create extensions. But for other ticketing tools, you have to create. So that company or that partner has built a extension or an application based on this open API, so that you can pull all your monitoring incident data and create or use it for some third party ticketing tool, CRM Dynamics or HP LM or whatever it could be, right? Or your in-house, many people, many companies have their in-house ticketing tool. So there you can use it, right? You can integrate. I think most of you have heard of CBC for SAP S/4HANA Cloud. So you can integrate Cloud ALM with CBC also for your S/4HANA Cloud implementation for the task and those measures. But again, this won't be covered as part of this training. But that integration is there because eventually it is going to Cloud ALM will be the one-stop solution for all your cloud solution, because even S/4HANA, as SAP is pushing even the S/4HANA on-prem customers to move to S/4HANA Cloud. So that's why the integration will be there for all the cloud-centric solutions, and that will be end-to-end. That will be there. So again, like with project management, all the project execution, you can manage everything as you'll document your requirements, IT business requirements. You can break down into user task, user stories, so that you can do on your own. You can create, or if you're using the standard content, those will be already there in place. The user story, because SAP has provided that, right? See, for this particular process, what would should be the user stories or the tasks which are to be given, configuration task or development task, and from there so that again, if you want to use them, well and good. So it is better to use it even if you're not using. You have a framework, and that you can leverage that. From there, you can create your features like for development. Then from there, features you can create your test cases for. Okay. So again, it gives.
Then I hear when you say that user stories for the each task, it will be separate column which will calculate the number of user stories points, how it is in this tool.
In the standard, it depends on how SAP is, but you will come to know it. So it is usually one to one, like one task will have one user story. But again, I'm saying like standard when you come to, because like let's suppose you are creating on your own and you have a task, you might want to break it down into 4 user stories or 5 user stories, right? Maybe
Yeah,
probably
because
SAP.
the reason is that previously when I saw that in each one requirement has a
Yeah.
multiple user stories, so it was only documented in that user stories which is classified in the each and every requirement. So
Huh.
in that case, then how this tool will help to decide in a different parameter of the requirement in terms of
Can you
user
repeat?
story only. Because
Okay.
I see that previously there was a one requirement contained a 4 different stage of development. For each
Okay.
requirement, it has contained the each user story for each requirement in the same one requirement in the top requirement. So in this situation, how this tool will help to capture the user stories? Is there any separate user story for each task or subtask, which will see that this particular main task has this much of user stories or not?
Okay. No, that means like that either if it is, let's suppose whatever is available there from the standard content, if it is not as per your requirement, you can always change that. You can create your own interpretation of that, right? And from a reporting perspective, obviously, yeah, it is like underlying the obviously like if you are based on the number of requirements open, and so maybe it will take only the requirements, and when you drill it down to the the maybe the percentage of user storage, so maybe then it will take the whole count, right? But again, that we have to see once we are in the system, and because it will depend vary from roadmap to roadmap and different stages of the project, right? So that we can see once we do the hands-on. But it is again like if it is not as per your requirement, or if again as I said, it is not like it is again not 100% mature tool. So there will be some, like as you mentioned, there could be like one requirement has 4 users, so how then it will give the percentage completion, or how will it track? So maybe yeah, this is maybe a shortcomings right now in the with the current setup of cloud. But yeah, as I said, it is with everything there's a disclaimer that it is still not no 100% mature. Like there's still every like if you go to the roadmap, there are like in this quarter there could be like 50 things SAP is working to innovate or put in cloud ALM, right? So that is one thing that could be, this is a shortcoming, right? Like in like there was I mean not shortcoming, but like the like I think last year quarter till quarter, that issue was there that you could not see more than 100 features. Like let's suppose you have created, like there's a project and there are more, obviously a project could have more than 100, more than 1,000 features. Features is nothing but one development work which you want to track. So there was a limitation, like I think sorry, it was 1,000, no, not 1,000. I think I'm forgetting the number, 100 or 1,000. So after 100, it will not show you any features. So that was not even a bug, but that is how it was, like because no, sorry, it was 1,000. So after, like, if you have more than 1,000 features, because let's suppose you have multiple projects, so I just want to see the whole feature list. So after 1,000, it was not showing the feature list, because when SAP was building it, they had put a limit of 1,000, and they had thought that it could not be more than 1,000. So then we had to create a enhancement request with SAP that this is the not bug. So then they increase it to infinite. Now you can have it any number of features you can see in the days. Earlier it was like it will only show you like 1,000, and there's no way to, until unless you know the name of the feature or you recall it, you can find it. So that was very difficult. So in that way, SAP is like trying to innovate. And again, and that this thing they did it in 2 days, right? They did not take a whole lot of time. They did it in 2 or 3 days. It went to the development and the product development team, and the change was there, not for us, but not for my customer, for everyone it came. And because they keep on doing it, the changes they apply keep on applying at the back end, and they don't wait. Like for other product, it would be a cycle where for the with the next release with a note it will come, but with Cloud LM they do it. So I have seen it firsthand. So again, it could be that what you are saying, that could be that is not like SAP is not, Cloud LM is not able to have provide that requirement which you are looking for. So maybe that's in pipeline. We can request that as well, and they'll work on that. Okay, but we'll see that when we do the demo workshop, and then we'll see. So, but it again depends on, if it doesn't suit your requirement, you can always change. You have the option to create your own user story task. So that way, SAP gives, Cloud LM gives you that openness in that way. Yeah, testing not as we move forward. As I said, manual step-based test cases you can provide. Again, SAP, as I was saying, it provides you integration with other test automation provider like Tricentis. I know it is built for other also it builds. Okay, Tricentis test automation. Again, for testing also it has an open API, which obviously you can use if you want, integrate it with some other third party or any other testing tool. Okay, defects management is available within Cloud LM during testing. If there is a defect, you can create a defect and track it. So that is there. You don't have to go to some other ticketing tool and manage the testing or defect there. Defect management is there, but yeah, incident management is not there in Cloud LM, but defect management is there. Okay, S4HANA test automation tool is also there in Cloud LM integration, but it is very nascent stage, right? So change and implement deployment, like this is the part where the actual the changes in the system, that is how it is tracked, we manage it. Okay, traceability and audit trails. So it gives you the functionality to as I said, traceability. So where is the state, what is the feature state, which transports are managed to which feature. Okay, very recently TOC concept was not there in Cloud ALM, but SAP has brought that feature. Like we can have transport of copies as well now in Cloud ALM. So SAP also you can integrate. I don't know if you know, there's a service available in BTP, Cloud Transport Management System. So that can be integrated with Cloud LM for movement or managing your changes for cloud solutions, which are moving through BTP. So that is also there. But again, we won't cover that. We'll cover the basic, which is available in Cloud LM. But that integration is there. You can use Cloud LM, integrate with that service BTP, and manage the cloud solutions change management process as well. Okay. I think these are all these we'll cover as we go in the demo. As I was saying, like open APIs are there available. We have for analytics, we have for projects, for task, for test automation, right? So these either for some SAP already provides, like for you can integrate ServiceNow using one of the APIs and MS Teams. Other, it has given you the API. Now you have to build your extension, your application on that, pull data from Cloud LM, then use it either in your own application if you have built, or any third party application. Okay, so this is one of the very unique feature, and SAP is actually working on providing more APIs apart from building a capability of its own Cloud LM capabilities. It is also this Cloud LM projects. If you can see the second API, this came very recently. For analytics it was there. For task it again came, like let's suppose all the tasks you can import using this API, and then maybe you can have it in some where you want to track it, right? So that you can do, right? So these two came very recently, these APIs. So SAP is building APIs also side by side, so that it is saying that okay, I will not do the all development work, right? You also do, as partners you can also do. So that's why like there is no incident management, there are no dashboards capability in Cloud, and that it is giving you an open API. You want to, if you want a leverage dashboards, you use the API and you use your own dashboards. Like SAP is saying, I will not put effort in, like I will build, but side by side. I am not going to build it on Cloud ALM. So in that way, they are pushing Cloud ALM. Okay. Okay.